So ignition is on. Brilliant. Okay, when you're ready, sir. Where am I going? Perfect, thank you. So here we are, we're out on the first drive in the 1974 Aston Martin V8 Series 3. We are with Clive, the owner, and he is going to tell us about how the car runs and drives. So when you're ready, sir, if you could tell me about, let's start with the engine, and then we'll work our way down there.
It's a V8, you have that lovely V8 growl, of course. It is an automatic gearbox on this car rather than the Vantage, which is manual. That having been said, as we will see in a moment when we put our foot down a little bit, there is a wonderful kick in the back and a roar, and that's coming from an old girl that is now well over 40 years old. But she's ticking nicely at an idle at these traffic lights. And as we set off, we hear the growl pick up, which is a classic. And she feels nice. She is very good. You have to be a little wary that you do have brakes that are also 40 years old, and so you've got to anticipate putting them on well in advance. I have driven the car at high speed, but you do have to look quite a long way ahead for your braking zones. And here we open her up now. So we've taken it up to just about 3,000 revs. We're sitting just about 50 miles an hour, just a shade over perhaps. And we're not in top gear yet. Now we've dropped into top gear.
So I just want to touch really quickly on the brakes. Because you said they're all brakes, which is understandable. Yep. Have you had kind of any issues with the brakes? Do they work?
They were replaced a few years ago now, but I had a complete new set of brakes. They were provided by Fosway brakes, and the invoices are all in the pack that you photographed. And they were installed down here in Kent. But Fosway braking, they provide brakes for classic racing cars, and they provided a good set. It's simply, the the design is that much older. They're ventilated discs on the front, and they work. But like a racing driver brake, you've got to use your leg muscles to get them there.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That's fair enough. How's the ride and the suspension? I mean, to me, it feels great, but
it is.
I mean,
there's a slightly bumpy road which we'll go on in a moment or two, but we'll go and have a look at the area where we might take some photographs first, and then we'll ride over a bumpy. The great thing about these old cars is they were built for performance, so the suspension is quite hard. You want firm suspension in a performance car, and that's how you get your feedback on it.
Yeah,
but,
I mean,
sorry, go on.
Generally, to me, it feels quite subtle, actually. If I'm honest,
Well, for a big, very heavy car, we'll have a look in here and just see what it's like. For a big, very heavy car, it responds quite nicely. I mean, the handling cars of its age and era were always considered to be the Ferraris. The cars of style and elegance of this era were the Aston Martins, of course. Okay, as I said, the suspension is a firm ride, but it's quite responsive. The steering is light. There is power steering, so you are not lugging, 2 tons of front end around on your forearms.
Yeah, because that was then I was then going to lead on to the next question, which would have been, how is the steering? How does it feel?
Steering is quite precise. I have taken it around Brands Hatch in the past, and we're now going to go over a very bumpy bit of road here in a few moments, and so you will get a sense. You'll hear the rattles. You will hear. Okay, here we go. Right, that's not too bad.
I would say that's pretty good. Like very. You
can hear the road, but your dentures are still in place. It's.
Yeah, no, that's good. I can't remember if you finished
the steering. As you say, we'll sort of hit a couple of roundabouts here, and we'll see. We will see how smoothly it goes around. I mean, I tend not to go around roundabouts at racing speed, but nevertheless, you can get a. That's a signal.
I mean,
Sorry,
brakes work.
The brakes work. What we had there was. There you go. It pulls away beautifully. It has that lovely feel of coming out of a bend, and if the road allows, you better put your foot, open it a little bit, and you feel you've got a classic car of race breeding that you're driving, which is one of the features that people like with an old classic car.
That's what you want. That's perfect. That's brilliant. Anything else that you'd like to add? As is noted, I think in my brief before, I used the car every day as a going to work car when I lived abroad. So it was immediately responsive for me on motorway and town driving, city driving in Switzerland. So it really fitted the bill beautifully, and only once did I have a pedestrian jump straight out in front of the car. I managed to stop, not hit him, wanted what he wanted, he just wanted to take a photograph. Nice. And I can see why, because it's a really great looking vehicle as well.
Thank you very much.
Cool. Well, I appreciate your time, and Yeah, thank you for that. Much appreciated.
Okay, open to what you want.